Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar sponsored by Oracle NetSuite, where we'll talk about how a people-first strategy will accelerate your growth. I'm joined by Amy Senders, who's with ArcLight Consulting, and Amanda Husted with Bridgepoint Consulting. Amanda, I probably should have asked you in advance the proper way to pronounce your last name, so maybe you can say that for us all.
It's Houston, but no harm, no foul. I get that all the time. Not a problem.
Houston, awesome. Thank you so much. So it's great to have you here. I'll go ahead and just open with our CPE housekeeping, and then I'll have a chance to introduce you in just a little bit here. But we're so glad to be joined by all of you in the audience, and we want to make today's webinar interactive. So we will ask you to write in your questions, share any experience or feedback using the GoToWebinar questions function. If you want to say hi and let us know where you're joining from, would love to hear from you. I am joining you from Pensacola, Florida today, and we'll have a chance to hear as well where Amy and Amanda are coming from shortly. You can download the handouts from the GoToWebinar handouts section, and I think you'll really enjoy seeing the diagrams and just the functionality laid out really nicely in those handouts. So you can go ahead and download them. Today's webinar is 1 hour. So that means we will launch 4 polling questions. You'll want to respond to at least 3 and remain logged in for at least 50 minutes to earn CPE credit. And for those who qualify, you can access your CPE certificate directly from your Encoursa dashboard. I am a big proponent of LinkedIn. I think it's a great place to build your professional network, and I'd highly recommend connecting with Amy and Amanda on LinkedIn and giving ArcLight and Bridgepoint a follow, and also, of course, Oracle NetSuite as well for updates there. So that's it for our housekeeping items. And I want to just say thank you so much to our sponsor, Oracle NetSuite, for making today's webinar possible. NetSuite has everything that you need to grow all in one place. And NetSuite supports over 38,000 customers in 219 countries and territories around the world. It's the world's first company dedicated to delivering business applications over the internet. And Oracle NetSuite provides a full suite of cloud-based ERP applications, including financials, inventory management, HR, professional services automation, and omni-channel commerce. NetSuite believes that with unified information, every business achieves their vision. And alongside with having this full suite of products, NetSuite works with companies like Bridgepoint and ArcLight to help you implement and get the most out of your Oracle solutions. So I'm really excited today to be joined by Amanda, who's a principal with ArcLight Consulting, and Amy, who's a director with Bridgepoint Consulting. Amy and Amanda, they bring substantial experience with NetSuite implementations across industries and applications. So in prior NetSuite webinars, we have explored financial management topics such as supply chain, AI, warehouse management, and today we get to learn a new acronym. So HCM, you'll hear that referenced today, Human Capital Management, and today we're going to explore Oracle's HR capabilities. So Amanda, let's go ahead and jump in.
Perfect. No, thanks so much, Liz. And hello, everyone. I hail from Indianapolis, Indiana. Today, I'm actually in Denver. So I travel a little bit just in terms of work, but we're going to focus today on how a people-first strategy will help you accelerate your growth. As mentioned before, my name is Amanda Husted. I'm a principal with our cloud solutions practice, our sister practices, Bridgepoint and ArcLight. Bridgepoint focused more on the NetSuite implementations. ArcLight focused on that Oracle HCM, Human Capital Management implementations, as we were referencing before. So just to get us started, and for frame of reference, we're going to get a poll question going here, just to understand who's in the audience a little bit more. So Liz, if you could help us out with that. First question being, how would you describe your role in your organization?
Great, good question to start with. This question is up on the screen. Go ahead and let us know if you are a CFO or if you have another finance role. Maybe you're a Chief Human Resources Officer or another HR role. If none of the above, then feel free to write in. You can use the questions box. It doesn't have to be a question. You can just write on in and let us know what role you have. It's great to see a mix today. Of course, no surprise, we're joined by predominantly finance professionals because that does tend to be Encoursa's sweet spot, but I'm really excited that we do have a couple HR folks with us today. I'm so glad that you found us and decided to join the webinar today. I'll go ahead and close the polling question and just show those results so that you can see where we are, but we have just about 80% finance and 20% other, and 2% coming from HR. So thank you so much for being here. I'll close the poll, and Amanda, it's back to you.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for giving us that information. It allows us to tailor some of our message today more precisely for your teams. So a little more background about me. I have worked for the last 20 years in the human resources space, implementing software for companies that really desire to align their people strategy with their technology platform. And I spent the first 6 years of that time focused on on-premise solutions, and then started working with cloud-based applications as the industry went that direction. And I can tell you very much that the landscape of business has changed dramatically in that time frame. Navigating the business world is no longer just as simple as beating the competition. You might ask yourself questions like, well, how do you even identify the competition? Are you competing on price? Are you competing maybe in terms of talent? They've got better talent than you. Or do they just have a better strategy? And worse yet, what if that competition leverages a better technology platform that helps them get ahead? And even if you've answered many of those questions, or you zeroed in on that strategy, or you've vetted the competition, the next area of focus for many of the team members I work with is, well, how do I create a plan to scale and get ahead of that competition? It's the ever-present question in terms of business. And in order to scale the business, the next layer is we really need to hire the right talent at the right time in order to make sure that we meet the goals of the business. But the people market today is different than it was even 10 years ago. And the reason for that is mobile. Mobile is changing the employee expectations in the marketplace. A recent Forbes study said that 93% of millennials said that it was important to have up-to-date technology, services, and solutions in the workplace. But 48% of those surveyed said it was extremely important. We are living in a world today where that is the top of mind for any candidates that come in. And with unemployment rates hovering most recently at all-time lows, and candidates just having more information readily available when they are making employment selections, it's increasingly difficult for companies to compete in finding top talent in today's market. McKinsey also did a recent study that said while millennials are digital natives, their successors will actually be developer natives, not only able to pick up and use technology quickly, but also able to code, program, and develop their own solutions. Individually and collectively, those folk will have no patience for adapting themselves to outmoded systems when they know more efficient, friendly, and functional operations exist or can be built. And that is the very reason we have seen such a shift in our boardrooms today. The C-suite is not only comprised of the CEO, CFO, and COO, but now they're joined by the CHRO and the CIO to combat the talent and technology revolution that is upon us. And even if those hats are worn by COOs and CFOs many times in the organizations that we work with, those topics that are discussed around the executive table often center around aligning people, data, and processes to scale for greater profits. So I've got another polling question out there for the team. What would you say is the biggest hindrance to attracting the right talent in your organization?
Great question. And Amanda, what compelling statistics that you shared. So to make sure that we are focusing the audience's attention on the poll that's up on your screen, please let us know what is the biggest hindrance to attracting the right talent. So maybe it's outdated technology, maybe it's lack of data and inadequate candidate experience, maybe it's just having disparate technology platforms. you do have the option to respond to all of the above. So go ahead and let us know. And Amanda, what you just shared, a couple things really resonated with me is this concept of like mobile first. Sometimes it's easier to think that that's really for consumer facing applications, but it just kind of clicked for me that this is business to business. This is hiring. That this is much more than just I want an app to buy my groceries, but this is I need an app for anything. And then the other thing that you said, I've heard it from you just now for the very first time, is that we hear digital, digital, digital. I hadn't thought of like what's next after digital, and
Hmm.
you're saying like the next language that the young professionals will be fluent in is just developing their own code, and
No,
that's
absolutely.
really eye opening.
Absolutely, you've got all of this gamification that's happening just naturally with video games being out there, technology on your phone. That gamification is almost an expectation now for those that are coming into the workplace. How can I give kudos to somebody? How can I give a reward? How do I make sure that it's very easy and frictionless? I don't want to get stuck in all of the architecture conversations and things that seem archaic. It's just a shift in mindset, and it's almost that hidden piece of competition when it comes to talent that a lot of companies aren't always thinking about, or aren't thinking about 10 to 20 years down the way, when they have to make sure that that's so central in what they're doing as part of the organization.
Right. Very compelling. So, what we're hearing from the audience today, actually, let me share those results. I closed them a little too fast. We're hearing from the audience today is the primary hindrance is inadequate candidate experience. And then that's only followed by a mixture of all of the above. So, I think this candidate experience is really top of mind for, 80% of the group today.
No, that's perfect, and that's what I hear so much, just in terms of many organizations, because that experience is what ultimately their candidates are shopping around, just like they might be shopping around for your product, and some of the same attention to those details is incredibly important as you're looking to stay relevant in the space. So as part of the conversation today, we also have Amy Senders, as mentioned, on the phone. She's a director of our solutions practice at Bridgepoint Consulting, and she has vast experience working alongside CFOs, guiding them to implement solutions that help them navigate this new landscape and adopt more of a people first technology strategy, like we've discussed. So, Amy, welcome to the combo. And I'd have to say that one of the things that I've always admired about you is your ability to look at solutions from all angles, even if it might not necessarily be your wheelhouse. You take a holistic approach to ensure that you're solving any of the problems of our customers. And so maybe you can initially start off by telling us a little bit more about you and some of the projects that you've been a part of that have been in this space.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here today. So, I've been working in NetSuite implementations for almost a decade. So, like Amanda said, I've had a lot of experience working with CFOs and other finance professionals to transform their business for this new environment that we're in. My background is actually in computer science, so I've been able to understand and design different applications fitting together via integrations, how all the data flows between them. And I think that's what has allowed me to take that kind of big picture view and holistic approach is, really understanding how different systems fit together. It's kind of, exactly what you were talking about. I've really seen a shift in focus over the years of my career as a millennial myself. So when I was just starting in the ERP space, I wasn't really hearing much talk about employees. It was all just focus on financials. But I think leaders are now seeing the importance of prioritizing employees and choosing technology that aligns with that. A recent project that I was on was a client who had just been kind of getting by with their current solution. It was, clunky. It didn't always work. It had to be corrected manually, but it technically did the job. There wasn't technically anything that wasn't working. They got, at the end of the day, they got what they needed, but they came to Bridgepoint looking for us to help overhaul their system because they knew that systems like that are what causes your employees to leave, and you lose your best employees because they just get worn down by that kind of drudgery or, things that should be simple becoming difficult, it really, wears on a person and makes them not excited to do their job. So that kind of transformation work is something we do a lot of in cloud solutions, and we really enjoy getting to help our clients not just plug in a software, but really help them make the right business decisions for them and their growth.
No, that's so true. Because there's really not only in the industry, there's been a shift for us, I think, as consultants, where it's less about what the application can do now, because most cloud applications have kind of standard base functionality, but it's more about the outcomes that it produces as it pertains to the organization's data and talent. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about some of the common themes that some customers are concerned as it pertains to competition in the marketplace today.
Yeah, I think one thing that, is always going to be top of mind for leaders is planning for the future. You probably already know how you're going to make money, today and maybe tomorrow, but to really stand out from your competition, you have to be able to plan and grow and have a strategy for the future, the medium and long-term future. If you just remain stagnant and just keep doing the same things, you're probably going to get left behind by your competition. As we've been talking about, companies are seeing the value already of having those modern technologies, not just for appealing to the younger generations, but having cloud-based technology is really good for capturing tons of data. But the big issue and kind of what prevents them from using that effectively and being able to accurately plan for the future is they don't know exactly how to use it. It might be spread across multiple different cloud applications or in different types of data models, or maybe you're not even sure which application it's stored in. And if you don't have that data in the way that you need it, then any of your future planning might be based on a faulty foundation.
No, that's something that I hear over and over again, as well, because it almost seems like having the data at your fingertips, and the faster that you can get data out into the hands of your executives, the better decisions get made, and that often is one of the biggest hindrances to truly making the best decisions in organizations.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's not that, people know the data is there and they want to use it, but if you've got data in 5 different tools collected by 4 different teams and none of them are talking to each other, you probably don't know how to use it, or you can't trust the integrity of it because you don't know if it's out of sync or only being updated in one place. And if you can't trust it, it's not really that useful to you.
So now, how often are you seeing questions come up around people strategy, candidate experience within the CFO purview?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely a big talking point right now. As we've been talking about, you can't just, I think CFOs are saying you can't just put your head down and only think about financials in a vacuum. People are going to be involved one way or another. And so now you're seeing, like we said, we're seeing CHROs at the table and being part of those key decisions, or the CFO is more explicitly owning people strategy. And I think that's partly due to, what the data tells us, which is that a people first strategy where you focus on your employees and prioritize your employees in your strategic decision making is just good for business. A recent survey from the Industrial Psychology Department at Colorado State University indicated that adopting a people first strategy resulted in 26% fewer employee mistakes, 22% higher productivity, 41% lower absenteeism, and 30% stronger customer satisfaction for those companies with that people first strategy. A Harvard Business Review survey also found that engaged and inspired employees are more than 2 times as productive as a merely satisfied employee. So investing in those parts of your business that improve your employees' experience, get them, engaged and inspired because they can see that you care about their employee experience, keeps them happier, and it produces clear benefits. So I think CFOs are definitely thinking more about those topics, talking more about those topics because they want to, achieve these benefits that you can see. Another big area of focus going towards that people first strategy is getting the right people in the door. No matter how engaged someone is, if they don't have the right skills, you're not really going to see the growth that you're looking for. So I'm kind of curious from your perspective, Amanda, working with a lot of HR professionals, where do you see, the areas of opportunity for companies who want to improve that candidate experience that we heard is, a big issue for those on the call trying to hire the best talent?
Yeah, in today's world, people can't be hired fast enough, and I think so many of the tools out there are not allowing for things such as frictionless login, career sites that are attracting talent and making extending kind of the experience that you want once you come inside, extending that out to what's external from a candidate experience. A lot of tools not necessarily maybe having the mobile capabilities, but even straightforward things such as that Outlook integration to make sure that you can interview on time. All of those tend to be barriers in the space when you're thinking about, I've got to get employees in to scale, and doing that under a single platform. I hear concerns many times from recruiters that don't necessarily have the necessary tools to keep top candidates coming in. And another area that I think is often overlooked is that external candidate perception of you as the company. We spend a lot of time on our products and the things that we want to get out the door and making sure our brand recognition is out there. But the focus being only on what competitors are doing or what our product line looks like, when we don't look at things such as Glassdoor or Reddit or what our employees are saying about that, that's a miss in terms of what's happening. Places where your brand might be tarnished, and it keeps candidates at bay just because we haven't necessarily looked at those platforms in particular. But there's also pieces that I hear about, once you've gotten employees in the door and you've given them kind of that candidate experience, there's also the retaining of those employees and making sure that same type of technology platform that you've had and what you've done to extend that experience externally, maintaining that with the employee experience when the candidate turns to the employee. That can be tricky because if you've got separate platforms that have a different look and feel and experience in them, that has been something that I've noticed that has been a deterrent just in terms of the candidate experience. So when you're trying to bring the talent inside, thinking holistically about the experience, but also simplifying that experience beginning to end and having congruency with your employee experience as well. Those things are things that a lot of companies need to be thinking about to, again, make sure they're front of the line for the best talent that comes into play. Now, speaking of that, Amy, I think one of the things that has been very exciting that you've been working on with regard to this concept is that you've been working on a solution that really marries the critical functionality of Oracle's NetSuite and Oracle's human capital management platform to help solve for a lot of that seamless experience and data platform issues that we've been talking about. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about ArcLink?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to share this with everyone. So as you said, ArcLink is a solution that we built in our practice really because of all those trends that we've been discussing today, that we've been seeing amongst our customers, and identified this as a way to really give people the leg up against their competition that they need to grow their business. We're seeing those companies who want to surpass their competitors, but they're struggling with subpar tools or disconnected tools, or maybe both. And what ArcLink offers is a solution to that problem to drive growth. So it's, two best-in-class solutions in Oracle HCM and Oracle NetSuite, and a unified platform and experience between them. So it allows you to take advantage of all the data at your fingertips while also, ensuring that you're supporting your employees with that people first strategy that we've been talking about.
No, I love
Um,
that. And definitely giving an advantage in the marketplace, thinking about that strategy overall. That's huge.
yeah, yeah. So I'm going to dive into a little bit of some of the details and show you a little bit about what this platform, what ArcLink, what it looks like, to kind of show you where we see those benefits, how it can benefit your business and contribute to, the people first strategy, the modern technologies that we've been talking about. So first, looking at Oracle HCM, it really is a tool that encompasses the entire employee experience from hiring all the way through to retiring. So like Amanda was talking about, they're not going to get a different experience as soon as they get hired. It's going to be the same great user experience all the way through. And from the back office, you don't have to manage, a different tool for payroll, for career growth, for hiring, for training. It's all part of Oracle HCM. They've got their core HR functionality, workforce rewards for things like benefits and payroll, talent management for recruiting, but also learning portals for your employees, performance management. You can do workforce management as well as work-life tools like wellness or HR help desk functionality. So that complete suite of tools is, part of what makes it such a great HR platform, since your users get this single experience across all of that functionality. I won't be able to show you all of the parts of this, but since I know we have not as many HR professionals on the call today, we'll share a little bit of some of the, really cool features that stand out from other HR tools and showcase how it can support that people first strategy. And then the other, big part of the solution is obviously Oracle NetSuite, which is, again, a full suite of applications. You've got your typical ERP or enterprise resource planning functionality like financials, inventory, orders, etc. And unlike some ERPs, NetSuite is really built on a base of financials. So it has a lot of advanced financial capabilities that you won't find in other ERPs, or not to the same standard. But even on top of all of that ERP functionality, you can extend your business further with CRM, services resource planning for any project management, or even Suite Commerce for selling directly to customers through an e-commerce website or in-store point of sale. Both of these applications, Oracle NetSuite and HCM, are top of the line, and with ArcLink, our solution can help you achieve that people-first strategy for growth. So first, I'm going to dive into, like I said, a little bit more of functionality that you'll see with Oracle HCM and talk about how that relates back to, those trends that we've been discussing and how it can help you, get the best talent and really take your business to the next level. So we're starting first with talking about, as we heard, the candidate experience is such a big factor in getting that great talent. And what you'll see here is a career site that you can publish with the job listings that you want to put out there. And it really showcases that cutting edge user interface that's, again, consistent across the entire platform. So from the first time that a potential employee interacts with your company, they'll have the benefit of this easy to use, modern looking environment in the form of Oracle's Redwood user interface is what they call it. So as you can see, it lists out all of the key information you want to know, the title, the location, when it was posted, how to apply. It's just really easy to navigate. And the other cool thing, as we've been talking about, is the Redwood user interface is responsive, meaning if you're on a mobile device, it's going to look just as good and easy to use no matter what device you're on, really kind of keeping you on the forefront and able to attract even the newer generations of candidates. Diving a little bit further into that candidate experience, we've got, once they're looking at a job listing, we've got some really cool features here, including AI technology. So right here, Oracle AI can use existing data that it has and data that it has about the candidate looking for this job to provide an analysis of fit for this particular job. So that means not only are you going to get better applicants because they've already seen kind of how likely they are to get this job and are going to apply for the jobs that they're the best fit for, but this kind of care and attention to detail for people who don't even work for you yet is really, setting that precedent of your employee first strategy so that they'll know and they'll be more interested in applying to your jobs than to your competitors' jobs, those top candidates, because they can see you really want them to have a great experience, to find the best job for them, which I think really just, again, helps with that, like Amanda was saying, helps with that, reputation that you're putting out, not just for your products and to your customers, but also to potential applicants, which is a big place that can often get overlooked. Kind of continuing, again, I'm going to show you a lot of very cool AI functionality today. Oracle is on the cutting edge of this technology and has really made it kind of an essential part of a lot of parts of the platform so that you can use it wherever you need it to really save time. So this is an example of an AI chatbot that can be available on your career site. So candidates could, use it to find a job listing, schedule an interview, go through the application, anything else. Again, this is showing the candidates that you are at the forefront of technology, that you have invested in these modern technologies so that, again, that, digital native or developer native, these newer generations of candidates that you want to attract, they're going to see clearly and immediately as soon as they go to your website that you're on that path, you're on the modern technology, you're not, stuck behind and stagnant and not adopting these new features that really make everyone's lives easier.
One of the things that I often see that is a tricky piece is you've got applications where you upload a resume and then you go have to enter the same exact information again from an application perspective. Again, talking a candidate experience, they ask themselves, why did I upload my resume? That doesn't make any sense. And it's really nice to have the features that are available here in terms of resume parsing, but not only the resume parsing, when you get a little bit further on to the employee experience and you're wanting to build out your skills and your skills inventory, it can take that same data that you had on your resume, build a profile directly within your employee base, and allows for that seamless experience, not multiple entry, not questions from your candidate or your employees going, why do I have to do this again? It really streamlines that experience, which is a huge concern I've seen in the marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, with, the lower unemployment rates that we're seeing right now, things like that are what is often going to make the difference for a candidate if they have to go through this tedious process for one employer and not the other. They might think, well, I might have to do more tedious stuff at this job, so I'm going to go for the one that gave me, a much smoother and easier experience. So now looking kind of at the company side of hiring, we have again some more AI tools that are really going to help you with driving your growth. So the Oracle AI functionality can do things like predict how long it estimates it will take to fill this particular role based on, other jobs you've posted, the location, and all the trends that it's taking in and using in machine learning algorithms. So this means you can plan better for hiring when you're needed. You're not going to, post a job and hire someone and then you're not ready for them to do the work. So now you're paying a salary that isn't providing you any value, or vice versa. You're not going to post it too late and not be able to take advantage of a big deal or something that's coming in. You can plan much better to lower your costs and just be more efficient with your hiring, thanks to tools like this that are just built right into Oracle HCM. And then, something you're probably a little more familiar with, a use of AI you might have seen before, but is writing emails or job postings or other messages like that. The nice thing is that rather than having people go to some random website and maybe put in some confidential information that they shouldn't be doing, this AI is built right into Oracle HCM. So you can tell it, I want to send an email about job openings in this area, or I want to respond to an application, or I want to let them know about the next interview or anything like that. You can just tell AI, it'll generate a message for you. Obviously, you can edit it and so on to make sure it fits your company's brand, but it saves so much time on these things that don't really require, the critical thinking skills of your team. Instead, your team can be spending more time on conducting interviews and discussing candidates and things that they're really needed for, and they become more efficient. They can do more in the same amount of time, and again, help you grow your business. So now, moving past recruiting, we've hired someone. Uh, Again, we're going to keep maintaining that excellent user interface so that, they don't just feel like it was a bait and switch. They had a great experience and now they're hired and it's just a bunch of disconnected old systems. They're going to continue to have that Redwood user interface. And as you can see from these screenshots, this is a mobile view. It's just as easy to use on mobile for people who are on the go or just want to do something quickly on their phone. This is showing what an onboarding journey would look like. So it can clearly and easily show them the steps to take. Onboarding, this is kind of their first impression after being hired. And this can make it really simple and painless for everyone instead of, a lot of onboarding can sometimes be multiple weeks of just a bunch of paperwork and sitting around and having nothing to do or not being sure what you're supposed to be doing, not knowing what's due when. Those things really don't set the stage for a good employee experience when that's the first couple of weeks of a job. With these onboarding journeys, you get people to know exactly what they're supposed to do when, all the information in one place. And again, it gets people to be more efficient because they can complete these tasks and get right to doing the work. They can do whatever trainings they need to do to get started. It's all in one place and super easy for them to access and understand. And the good news is it doesn't even stop there. It's not like we've got a great experience up through onboarding the first 2 weeks and now they're on their own. Oracle HCM allows you to custom build journeys for any transition or change or steps that people need to follow throughout their career. So, something like a change in benefits or a leave of absence, moving physical locations or transferring to a new department, anything where there might be some HR tasks to be completed, you can have a custom built checklist for exactly what they need to do. So they'll continue to feel that support and see again that you're prioritizing employees in your people first strategy, which is what gets you those benefits of employees being more engaged, more productive, happier in the workplace, and less turnover, which really is all what contributes to your growth. So again, really emphasizing that people first strategy is your employees can also manage and grow their career all still within the same tool that they've already been familiar with from day one since they applied to the job. This is showing that it can use, as Amanda said, it would have intake their resume, it knows their profile and their current skills, and it'll help identify where are their gaps in their skills or what are potential career paths that they might be interested in based on those skills, and what should they be doing to get to that path if that's one that interests you. This is, I think, one of the things that really sets Oracle HCM apart, and can set your business apart. Is it's not very common, I think, for companies to really show their employees that they want them to have the career that's going to be the best use for their skills. A lot of companies just put you in a role and let you keep doing that forever without thinking about, is there something more that they could be doing that would provide more value and make them happier? So by having this built into the system, I think it really helps set your company apart from its competitors for your employees, and builds that retention and that loyalty of knowing that, okay, my company wants me to achieve the most that I can achieve and achieve the best career that I can. And in return, you get better employees who are building their skills and growing themselves and providing your business more value.
One of the things today that is increasingly common is the question of, how do I create employee culture? How do I create employee engagement when I've got a remote workforce, or I've got a workforce that's not all in one location? whether it's global or whether you've got a field group as a group of operations that's different than kind of where your corporate office is. Having the ability to have kind of a framework of career pathing available on a screen, because so many folk interact with screens today, and seeing that path charted out for you and recommended careers allows employees to know, okay, I can look for that stuff here in my organization. I can connect in my organization versus going back out to the marketplace looking for other positions elsewhere. It again helps you to continue to retain that talent, but also to build a culture that's all based around kind of what they're engaging with on a daily basis, even if it's not a human directly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, continuing from there, we've identified where we might want to grow our career. Oracle HCM, again, includes that training path as well. So they don't have to learn a separate application to go do trainings, which usually means they just don't do as many. You can, personalize a training course to a specific employee for, required or critical trainings. You'll see here, this is an employee, Linda Swift, who has certain skills already in the system, potential career paths identified, and it's come up with a learning path based on all of the data that it has about her as an employee. So this means, again, employees building their skills means they're more productive, they're more efficient, and it also is that people first strategy. And one of the cool things that we'll show you here in a second is all of this employee data that you have stored in Oracle HCM can be seamlessly integrated into NetSuite through the ArcLink platform. So I'll show you that in just a second. But looking again at continuing the employee experience in Oracle HCM is also around goals and performance. You again have all of the AI tools built in, so making sure that your managers are going to write the reviews and provide feedback on employee goals is a lot easier when you know they have AI to help them make sure they write it, and so that you don't end up with managers putting off providing feedback. It's all built into the system and just makes it go a lot more smoothly. And providing that feedback is again a key part of that people first strategy, because without feedback, whether it's positive feedback to help you retain great employees or constructive feedback to help your employees get better and produce what they need to for your business, is really key. And the last thing I want to highlight within HCM is more, again, thinking of the finance professionals, but really taking a step back from the individual employee. HCM has strategic workforce planning as a feature that allows you to model potential organizational changes, look at skills gaps where you're missing certain skills, or maybe you have a lot of people with a certain skills, and really give you everything that you need to plan your hiring decisions with all the data available in real time and at your fingertips so you can make the right decisions. It can take that data, like all the skills that it's been storing, as well as data about the marketplace in general, and do things like a demand and supply assessment for hiring. So again, going back to allowing you to make the right hiring decisions at the right time for your business, for your growth. So you're not hiring too far in advance and having excess costs, or hiring too late and missing opportunities. You can really plan effectively to get the most efficiency out of your employees and support your growth trajectory. So again, I couldn't show you everything, but that's some of the things that I think are really unique and stand out about Oracle HCM and how it contributes to that people first strategy. And as we've shown you, there's tons of data available in that system. And within HCM, you can do a lot of stuff with that data, but we kind of want to take it to the next level, as we've been talking about, and look at it in a unified platform. Before we show you what that looks like with our ArcLink solution, we want to do a quick poll. If you can put up the next poll, Liz, just about how important is a unified platform for growth and scale to you and your business? And how do you see that kind of contributing to your growth?
Well, now that we've seen everything that's possible, I would say it's very important. This is amazing. And as you were just describing the application process, David said, thank you. I've been saying for years that resumes should not have to be uploaded and then have the candidate replicate all of the fields from the resume into the system. I mean, groundbreaking, but how amazing just to
Imagine
make
that.
that a
Shocking.
streamlined experience and take that friction away. And then I was just thinking too, as you were showing the mapping, like the skills mapping, where over the years there's been a lot of talk around having the strengths finders or understanding people's personality assessments, but now you are taking like the technical skills and the competencies so that an organization can visually see without having to like go ask everyone to fill out a personality or a self skills survey, like mapping that out for the organization to make hiring decisions. And it resonates a lot because if you think about like the whole like future of jobs report that comes out from the World Economic Forum that PwC has a really heavy hand in, and then also like the whole skills first, which is, I think looking at a 2030 horizon, leading with skills. I mean, this, like you are showing us the tangible technology that is available and accessible today to be able to see your organization's skill sets, the areas of strength, the gaps, and be able to address those in hiring. My mind is
That's
blown. I love
that
this.
it's so true. But even as you think about kind of unifying the platform, if you have even your talent and performance data in there as
Yes.
well as your financial data in the same, you can start to see, okay, what skills gaps do I have in low performing locations or with low performers? And then you can start to go, well, wait a second, where did I source them from? And it starts to make it really relevant and going, I might get a lot of people applying from this particular site, but hang tight, I don't want to do that because I've not gotten my best performers from that area. And it really transforms the way that you go about engaging in terms of the future of your talent and how you actually can use that to scale the business.
Yes. And thank you for tying that back to the unified platform and the importance of having the integration. That makes so much sense. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. We can see the results here that just over a third of our audience say very important. Many of you say somewhat important. A few of you are neutral. So we have a little bit of convincing to do, but that's okay. I think, many of us, including myself, are seeing really for the first time, like what is possible. So that's great.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all, for answering. And yes, hopefully we'll show you a few more things here. Hopefully convince a few of you who aren't quite sure if a unified platform is important. Because we think, what we've got with ArcLink is really helpful for companies. So what we're showing you here is using native, secure, single sign-on technology, you can give users a seamless experience when moving from HCM to ERP. So this is showing you within Oracle HCM, we've got a tile here. You would click on it and it'll just take you directly to Oracle NetSuite without having to, log in again or juggle multiple credentials. And then the really cool thing that I'm pretty excited about, because it's just come out in the fall of 2024, is that Oracle Redwood user experience is now shared into the NetSuite ERP as well as in Oracle HCM. So there's a synchronized kind of look and feel across both systems for ease of use. You'll see similar styles and formatting in the menus and links. So your users are, comfortable operating in both on a daily basis. They don't have to learn a brand new, totally different looking application when you're bringing one of those on. I mean, I think from your perspective, Amanda, like you said, that unified user experience is pretty important for the employees.
No, absolutely. It's one of those things that continues to help them engage. It continues to help them also go, why can't we make this look the same? Why do we have these outdated tools? Those are things that really have an impact in terms of employees staying engaged from an organizational perspective. We see it time and time again.
Absolutely. And then as part of our ArcLink solution, like I mentioned earlier, your data can sync between Oracle HCM and NetSuite whenever it's needed. So like we were talking about at the beginning, you don't have to deal with worrying with out-of-date information or not being able to trust your data or relying on, tedious manual processes to get data aligned. So this here is the same employee that we saw in HCM. Now she's in NetSuite as an employee record, could sync key data like the employee itself, details of the work, payroll cost details, any other attributes that are important to you from a financial perspective to have in your ERP can be synced easily between the two systems on whatever cadence it's needed, so you're not sitting there waiting. And then the other, I think, kind of key data synchronization point that we want to highlight that has really made a big difference for our customers is with payroll. So obviously payroll is an HR process. You're going to run it out of your human capital management tool, but a payroll journal entry can then be automatically created within NetSuite on whatever frequency you have payroll. And that way your finance team isn't, waiting to generate a manual journal upload and transform a file and upload it. Instead, the data is just there available as soon as you're ready to post it. And this means that things like, allocations at month end or your month end financial reporting can be turned around faster, which is what, we're always trying to achieve. We want to get rid of any of those delays and again, keep our finance professionals working on the things that require their critical thinking instead of, typing in a manual payroll journal entry, not the best use of time, not the most efficient. And finally, just want to highlight, some of the cool things again about NetSuite. We're spending less time here because I know as many of you are finance professionals, you're probably familiar. Many of you probably use NetSuite and are already familiar, but for those of you who aren't, just to highlight a few of the cool features that NetSuite offers as well. So like I mentioned earlier, NetSuite is really built on a base of financials. So things like I'm showing here, the period close checklist has enhanced functionality you're not going to see in other ERPs like automatic revenue recognition, intercompany consolidation, and more, all just as native features that are built into NetSuite. And again, getting that core financial data quickly and accurately means that any financial planning or forecasting you're doing is based on reliable data. And then finally, the last NetSuite specific thing I just wanted to show you is, again, some of this AI technology. The same AI engine from Oracle is also available within NetSuite. So, you can use it to update emails to customers that you're going to send, clean them up, make them more professional, and really, again, just save your employees time and give them those modern tools that we know candidates are looking for, so they're not spending their time on tedious tasks that are going to make them, not enjoy the job, not be engaged, and not support that people first strategy that you're looking for. Finally, the last kind of tools that I want to show you are, again, part of our ArcLink solution, part of the entire Oracle platform. So all of your data is together. And here I'm showing you this is NetSuite Analytics Warehouse, and it can pull in your data through both your NetSuite ERP and your Oracle HCM tool and have all of that data in the same analytics tool. So this allows you to easily spot trends and find areas of improvement. Like Amanda was just saying, if we're looking at, okay, what are our terminations by different reasons, and maybe looking at those in different regions, as well as, what's our revenue looking like by the same regions, by the same time frames, and you start to see trends that can help you identify areas of growth potential or maybe barriers to growth that you wouldn't have noticed without access to all this data at your fingertips. NetSuite Analytics Warehouse, of course, allows you to, drill in and slice and dice the data by any of the metrics you want. It also, again, uses that Oracle AI engine to suggest methods of analysis or interactions between data points. If you're not, it'll identify, hey, you've got these two attributes both by region, and if I compare them, I get a trend line, and it'll suggest that to you so you can see, what might this be telling me? Is this something that I can take action on to help improve my revenue or cut my costs? So it's a really cool functionality that really takes advantage of all of the data in the same platform. which is also what we're going to see here in the NetSuite Enterprise Performance Management tool as well. Again, all within that Oracle platform, all of the data seamlessly flowing in through our ArcLink solution. And this goes back to what we talked about at the beginning with really being able to plan accurately and budget for the future. When you have all of your HCM data and all of your ERP data in the same forecasting tool, that's when you can really, truly accurately forecast and make decisions around things like hiring, geographic expansion, or anything else you need to plan for to really put yourself ahead of your competition.
Yeah, I know many times when you think about kind of the HR world and what we want to accomplish, having a headcount planning and budgeting tool that brings together the financial information, brings together the current headcount, rather than just kind of rule of thumb when you're planning the budgets for next year. You're really taking those metrics and allowing it to show and project what we think the future is going to be of the organization, so you can scale appropriately. It's invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. So really what we've hopefully shown you today is that with a unified system and data through ArcLink, you can really embody that people-first strategy and modern technology by giving your employees a streamlined user experience and access to all the data when they need it and whatever they need. So hopefully those of you who are maybe not sure about a unified platform have seen some of the potential benefits of that to really giving you complete access to your data across your business, allowing you to find areas of growth and really set you apart from your competitors. I know we're getting close to the end of time here. We just have one more poll just to ask if you're interested in learning more about ArcLink or our cloud solutions practice. Liz, if you can put that poll up on the screen, but also if you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us via email or check out our website, or this QR code will also take you to some more information about that solution.
Yeah, this has been great. So just to make it easy for you all, if you're interested in learning more about ArcLink and the cloud solutions and digital transformation like we talked about today, just let us know, and Amy and Amanda and their team can get in touch with you, make a connection, and just talk a little further as how all of this can apply to your organization. And just really fascinating. I previously was in a role where I did a lot of headcount planning, and it was a lot of estimates, a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of calcs and recalcs. And then, okay, I have 6 to 8 different departments, and I know there's this many people, but then you have your open billets and you have transfers, and it would be really nice. I would have loved to have it all in one consolidated system like what you were showing today. So amazing just to see how, like you said, Amanda, you started out saying that the technology has advanced so much. And I think that's really what I'm taking away today. Go ahead, and do you have anything else you'd like to share? And I can bring us to the final close.
I think we appreciate the time today. It's been great to be on, and looking forward to connecting with any of you that have additional interest accordingly. And we'll turn it back to you, Liz, to wrap us up.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Amy. Amy, excellent job. For the audience, I want to make sure to let you all know that when you close GoToWebinar, a survey will pop up. We'd love your feedback, so go ahead and share your feedback on that survey. You'll be able to access your CPE certificate, the handouts, and the recording of today's presentation from your Encoursa dashboard, and you are welcome to share this recording with your colleagues or your clients. So feel free to say, hey, I just attended this awesome webinar, saw some really neat technology applications, would love to share it with you. And thank you all for joining us. We'll look forward to having the NetSuite team and partners back again soon. Until then, take care, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you all.